So, round of hands please, because I'm all about audience participation and I have very large shoes apparently. Who has applied for a job in the last 6 months? Who's applied in the last 12 months? Who's applied through your own job board? Can you please all go back and do that? Those of you who applied in the last 6 months, who was it? My poor people who put their hands up. What was the experience like?
Nothing bad.
Black hole recruitment? Was it via a job board or direct to a company?
Both. I went far and wide.
Far and wide.
Failed them both.
Spread yourself out. Who else put their hand up?
I was kidding.
Oh, okay. Please go back and apply via your job boards and horrify yourself, okay? Go and literally apply for a job. Go all the way through the process. Highly recommend it. So some more questions for you. How many times did you look at your phone in the coffee break? 10? 20? You guys are really unresponsive. I'm going to kill you if you keep being quiet. Come on, move. Okay? They've let you off all day. I'm not going to let you off. 20 times? How many times did you check? You had a half-an-hour break. How many times? 5? Did you check your emails, all that kind of stuff? Yeah? Okay. And how many of the other messages did you get? Several. Yeah. Most of you have paid to be here today, right? Is that fair? And I've watched you from the back of the room while you've had speakers, particularly those that work inside a company, the HR speakers, give their valuable time to you. And you guys have been so busy answering your emails and not paying attention, yet you paid to be here to learn all this knowledge. It's distracting, right? We live in this world of distraction where we feel like we have to answer people like that. It's horrifying. And how many of your apps have got push notifications on them? 1, 5, 10? How many? 5. Who said 5? 5. I think I've got 2. I've had to turn them off. They do my head in. But like lots, right? So we have this constant, everyone's trying to get to us all the time. It's annoying, okay? This is really what's going on in the world, this fight for distraction. In fact, there are 18 million text messages, 38 million WhatsApp messages, and 187 million emails sent every single minute. Can you imagine your little job board alerts are coming up in those 187 million? So are all the recruiter spam messages. Why should anyone pay any attention to you? They don't need to. So, I'm actually looking around the room and for a change, I don't feel like I'm the oldest. Who else remembers going to the newspaper to look for a job? Oh, thank God. Right, there will be a time I will say that and I'll be the only person. So back when I started my career, we're going to make it less than it was and make it 25 years ago. I went to the Sunday newspaper and I would look for a job and there would be this tiny little job advertisement and I had no clarity. There could have been 100 jobs, 5,000 jobs, I had no idea. There could have been 1 application or 6,000. Again, I had no idea. So the manager in the particular place I was working was a complete arsehole and used to make the second in charge vomit at lunch. It was that stressful, that horrible, and we all stayed. We all stayed because of fear, because there was no transparency. But the world changed. Thanks to this man. Do you all know who he is? Who said that? Who said that? Thank you. Round of applause. I have no prizes. I so should have prizes for that. We should all thank this man. Most of us have our jobs because of Tim Berners-Lee, who created the World Wide Web. He is incredibly important to every single person in this room and the way we do our job. He created transparency. He created all the online job boards. He created it all. It all came from him. There are 7.593 billion people on the planet. How many are on the internet? Not that many, unfortunately. I wish. Make my job really cool. How many? Yeah, this many. 4 billion. So nearly the 5. 4 billion. Growing rapidly. Again, but they're all creating that noise that you're coming up against with your job boards. So when I started out teaching companies to recruit on social media, I did it because there was a huge change in the marketplace. So 2008-9, LinkedIn's appeared, the Rolodex. So I'm working in a recruitment agency. I'm using LinkedIn where people are appearing online. But of course, thank goodness, in retrospect, that the recession happened and I got to get out of the agency world. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. If people are appearing online, no longer do I have my little black book of contacts. Now I can actually teach companies how to find them directly. There doesn't need to be a middleman. This was the biggest shake-up to the agency world. They lost their Rolodex. But unfortunately, it's now gone to this. This is a screenshot of a PHP developer's inbox. It is a couple of years old, I'll pay that. That's what he gets now. This is what recruiters send him. This is probably what, unfortunately, you guys send as well with those job alerts. Urgent PHP requirement, urgent, urgent, urgent. He's like, yeah, whatever, piss off. Shuts his inbox again. There's so much noise. So now I teach much more on the candidate engagement. So just really quickly, as mentioned, I am Katrina Collier. I'm currently in the middle of writing a book called The Robot-Proof Recruiter to remind recruiters how to be human, because they've completely forgotten how to do it and all they do is hide behind technology and spam. Unfortunately, that includes the way they use the job boards and also the way that they use LinkedIn and all of the other social networks that they're using. I also run the Social Recruiting Show every Friday, thanks to Louise Triance, wherever she is. She's hiding in the room somewhere. Handful of my clients and all the places I've got to go around the world to speak. And this is what I'm hearing from my recruiting clients and from the people I get to speak to, so it's not just my opinion. Okay, so more questions. Where do you go if you don't know about something? Who said the library? Okay, old school, like it. Damn him for ruining my presentation. But where do you go? Google. Google, right? We all go to Google. Can't spell a word, let's go look it up on Google. Don't know something, go look it up on Google. 90% of search traffic, okay? Of course, there are other job boards. However, we all use Google. Where do you start your online shopping? Or Google. Like it's Google or Amazon, right? It's really the two, right? Incredible monopoly. Amazon, incredible loyalty, but that great monopoly. Where do you look online for flights? Skyscanner? But you're a library dude. You're not allowed to answer. Right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love that you're actually not in the norm. It's great.
Like Google and ignoring people that didn't agree with you.
Yeah, no. God, no. Feel free to disagree with me. This is just my opinion. You go to Google, right? Okay. So what was interesting, where is Louise? I wish she was in the room. Louise Triance and I were having a really funny conversation about this, and I am getting to a point that's completely relevant to job boards, was that I will go to Google to start looking for my airfares, but I will always book on BA because I love BA and they absolutely look after me. So I keep going back and I keep booking directly on BA. I might start there to just check there's a direct flight on Google, but I always end up booking on BA. It's crazy, right? Why don't I just go to BA? But I don't. We all have our quirky little behaviours. So this has barely come up in what I've heard so far. Admittedly, I missed the first presentation, but what do you think of the blue box? What do you think of this Google for Jobs or whatever it's calling itself now? Anyone? Not really thought about it? You should think about it. This is why you should think about it. I can do this. I can go in and I can select employer only. I can go in, I can select company type. I can rule out all the recruitment agencies and just look for direct applications. So I can apply directly to companies, even though some of them treat you like a black hole, as we just heard. And how about this? Your very important job alerts that many of you rely on for the traffic of those candidates, but I can just get them from Google. Surely I just go to Google because it's pulling all the jobs into one place. This was designed to sort the mess. A lot of it, the fake job adverts that come out of recruitment agencies, unfortunately, and I am an ex-agent, so I don't hate them all. I'm just saying it does happen. That's how they get their business, unfortunately. That's how they get candidates, unfortunately. But it was to clear that up and to make it an easier process, hence the Google Flights, hence the shopping, all of that. It's all about making it easier for the person using the search engine. So then I have this. I can go into the job, so I've picked on a marketing job here, and I can choose where I'm going to apply. So I could go to The Guardian or I could go to Read. Or I could just do this. I can roll down, I can see the rating, how they rate on Indeed and Glassdoor, and I can go straight to the website. I can rule you out altogether. And I can do that with complete ease. That took me 2 seconds to do that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the company because I want to deal directly with the company. Why would I want to go through an intermediary? What are you giving me as a candidate that will make me use you? Something to ponder. I don't necessarily have the answers, by the way. I'm just throwing questions. We also had that short attention. I pointed out to you how many of you paid to be here yet have been sucked into your emails and answering messages and in the break, boom, 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 not networking, making the most of it, right? Short attention. So if I come to this particular job, which major players have put out, and again, I have a choice. Will I go to major players or Monster? If there's Monster in the room, I'm not picking on you. I'm just showing something. It looks beautiful on major players. Short attention, scan, easy. I get what it's about. This is what Monster did to it. Okay. Check what you're doing to your jobs via Google for Jobs. When you pull it through, are you screwing it up like that? It's just a technical hiccup. This is nothing huge. But oh my goodness, how embarrassing is that? Which one do you think I'm going to apply on? Oh, you've killed you all. Do you all need more coffee? You're going to apply Monster or major players, right? Think about it. You all need more candidates? I've heard this all day. Okay, they're human beings. They're quirky. They do really strange stuff. So you need to go and pander to them. How many of you have actually asked your job seekers, like truth, hands up moment in front of all your peers, how many of you actually asked your job seekers what they want? Wow. Ask them. Do those annoying little pop-ups that pop up with like a 2-minute survey down the bottom corner. They can answer 2 questions. Ask them what they want. Again, I don't have the answers. You've got to ask them. What do they want? Some of the things I do think they want, though, they have big trust issues. Now, you'll all want to look up for this because I want to make sure you're awake for this. They definitely don't like recruiters. We are a waste of time, stupid, evil, and lazy. And just in case you thought that was just on Google, I checked the other search engines that exist. We are useless, a waste of time, worthless, scum, idiots, and liars. Apparently, I'm not allowed to put scum in my book, which is really rude. I think my editor's mean. Anyway, but you guys are pretty bad too, I'm afraid. They're dead. We know you're not dead. Okay. Useless, a waste of time. Online job boards are useless. Job boards, Bay Area, that's a bit random, isn't it? Job boards are, which job boards are the most effective? At least that's a good search, isn't it? Job boards are a waste of time and are useless. So again, there's this trust issue. Candidates have got a trust issue with you, but you want more of them. So ask them what they want, give them what they want. It's not complicated. They want trust. They certainly don't want more noise. This, hopefully you guys can work out by the blurred out logo which household name job board that is. Who sent this to? Guess what this person does for a living? Be a housekeeper. A recruiter. How can you possibly send a job alert for a housekeeper to a recruiter? There is nothing on his CV that would at all say that. So is it possible your technology is doing that and creating more noise? It needs to be looked at, it needs to be addressed. And then the advice. Okay, I apologize profusely if these people are in the room and you take offense at this, but this really, really annoyed me. I have changed careers 4 times in my life, and I cannot just apply to a job to do it. So please don't have advertisements like, hey, Katrina, you're in the wrong job. You should be a nurse. Boom, I'm a nurse. It doesn't work like that. If people want to change careers, they need really good advice about that. It's all about networking. It's all about value adding. It's about going and opening doors that aren't seen. It is not a crappy little advertisement saying, oh, wow, apply for jobs through us and you're in a whole new career. And then there's this one to back it up as well. Really bad advice. Not now do you see my potential, because believe me, I don't. Because I read the CV and as with my recruiter hat on, was crying. It is so bad. If you want to know the best way to write CVs to pass that on to your job seekers, go and ask your recruiting clients. How do you read a CV? What are you looking for? Should they add their achievements? Should it just be a list of skills? What do you need? And that's the advice you pass on. This, yeah. I've already fed it back to them, but you know. So what I'm asking you is how will you gain that kind of loyalty that I have for BA? So I love the fact that I get to get on the plane early. I love that I can get my seat way in advance because I'm a silver member. And even on domestic flights where it's not so great, I still use them. Not domestic, you know what I mean? European flights. not just long haul. What can you do yourselves to create that kind of loyalty with your candidates? Because that's what you need to be aiming at. Someone mentioned Tesco cards, didn't they, earlier? Most of us don't actually care about our data going out there. We just care about what we're getting. So what can you give? What can you do? Again, I don't have all the answers. I'm just throwing ideas at you. But then you need to look at what your clients are doing. And your clients are wanting different things as well. Actually, no, I'm lying. This is still candidates. Sorry, I've missed my plot. I'm very conscious of the time. I keep looking over Jane's head at it to make sure I finish on time. This is some ideas of what candidates do want. Hiring on work preference. Not this is what I've done before. This is what I'd like to do. Do any of you know work shape? Have you heard Hung Lee speak? Developers can go in and say, this is how I'd like to spend my day. This is what I want my job to be. And the client goes, this is what the job is like. You'll be doing this in your day. And they match them off. It's very clever. So rather than going, oh, I have 5 years of PHP, you're actually going, this is how I want to spend my day. Very different. People want it to be anonymous. This is actually a recruitment site for recruiters. They want to actually be able to go in and chat anonymously to people. So that, maybe their hiring manager's in there and doesn't see that they're looking for a job. They can have whole conversations and get to interview without even sharing a CV. And then, again, they get information. They get advice on their job and to stay anonymous. All of the blogging that goes on in here is all for them. And they want to ease the pain. So we've talked about niche job boards. This is another one which is absolutely awesome. It is just for London startups, but non-technical. It's really hard to find those jobs. So they've created a platform, which again is anonymous, which allows you to go in and find jobs and start conversations before you even share a CV and your contact details, which is awesome. It's micro niche, which we talked about before. Handpicked job matches, exclusive startup jobs. We're discreet. It's covering off the issues that those candidates have. It is their market. Brexit is going to make it even more their market. We have such a shortage of candidates. We've talked so much about technology, but any of you dealing with nurses, 94% reduction in nurse applications because of Brexit. So anyone in healthcare, you've got another problem as well. That's again just more information. I loved this blogging. It is so perfect for the people on that job board. It is all about startups and how to be interviewed and how their founders interview. It's awesome information in there. Niche, very specific, exactly what the job seekers want. And truly helping, we heard from Jane. I didn't know Jane was presenting because I didn't read the agenda and I put you in anyway because I'd already heard you speak previously. I've been into your job board. I've seen the amazing information that's in there. Okay, you might be thinking, yeah, but Jane's a social enterprise. But it's about people. What we do is about people. It's not about money. You're changing people's lives. And Even Break genuinely is. And the information in that portal is so helpful. Companies can go in, and actually I heard you talking to Tom about it, and actually genuinely go, oh my God, okay, how do I do this? How do I start? Where do I start? Oh, here's all the information right here. That's how you could be partnering. Like Tom was saying, partner with us, help us. And that's exactly what Jane was doing in the break. So, what are your clients up to? I think I've got just enough time. Right. My iPad's gone flat, so I'm panicking a bit. What are your clients up to? How are they avoiding you? Well, guess what? Work has changed. The biggest problem a lot of clients have is the likes of myself who have gone and left. Not just gig economy, we've just left and we're taking our skills with it. Matt Adler that was on this morning, he's done it. Polly's done it. And by the way, none of us are millennials, we're all Gen Xers doing it. Taking our knowledge, going off, setting up on our own, freelancing, working when we want to. It's awesome, love it. So you have sites where a lot of us can get work. I've used both Fiverr and Etsy recently. No risk to me. Booking a piece of work, okay, it's creative work, but I've been able to do that with no risk. It's a new way. It's the way the workforce is going. Can your job board do something like that? Is it possible? I don't know. Something to think about. Obviously, you've got the trades are doing it, aren't they? The rise of checker trade. I can't say it. Checker trade. That one. Anyway. And all of these. Again, I have booked workers through these. It's so relaxing. There's reviews. I don't have to worry. If they don't turn up on time, they get penalised. They turn up on time. But there is a site called Zinc, which is actually doing this in the professional space. It's all based on reviews, but not those dreadful LinkedIn reviews that we're all skeptical about. It's really asking your previous, be it your hiring manager or your previous colleagues, really curly questions to get them to write genuine answers as to how you cope in certain situations. Worth having a look at. Companies can use this. But going back to Google for Jobs for a second, this is its real impact. That's Sky, straight on to Google for Jobs. You don't even make a mention. Their own applicant tracking systems, depending on which supplier they're using and with whether they partnered with Google for Jobs or whatever it's calling itself now, can end up in that blue box. And people like the blue box because it's tidy, it's easy, and Indeed's way below it. So this is a big, big risk to you guys as well. And then there's other ways that companies can circumvent using job boards. Has anyone heard of Video My Job? Nobody? Okay. It's brilliant. It's an app on your phone, and it allows you to have a conversation with your hiring manager and interview your hiring manager. It even puts like the little Rolodex thing if you can't remember the words, so you can actually read it out. You can create really interesting videos. It uploads them organically to Facebook. We've had a lot of conversation about Facebook, but no one's really got it. 2.2 billion users, 1.45 billion, go in every single day. It is the most active social network. And you can tap into that network if you want to. So they put those. I know the views don't seem that high, but 41 views since yesterday, that's actually quite good on a quite specific job. Facebook pages always have very low visibility, so the fact they've got that is actually good. But they also go through, straight through, get posted straight out into LinkedIn. No effort for the person recording it. Kimberly just recorded it and boom, out it went. I can hear her voice, it's engaging. I can find all her contact details, I can see her face. Much more engaging. Has anyone come across Goldie at all? Brand spanking new video only job board. It's really cool, so you can go in and hear what the companies are doing, and then you can go in and hear from the hiring managers. Some of them look happy, some of them do not. Freeze frames need to be worked on. But you can go and hear the voice of the company directly and what they're doing. And again, it's video, it's tactile. We've talked about video earlier. It's much more engaging. And then, of course, let's not overlook that pay-per-click. So in the background, Facebook is collecting all of that amazing information about me, about what I like, where I go, where I'm shopping, what I'm talking about, what my updates say. You can target at that on your own, and it's like time consuming, or you can use a tool like ClickIQ, and they'll just do it for you with beautiful dashboards, and they'll actually put your job wherever it needs to go on any social network and all of the other places it can do. And it makes it really easy for me as the company, as the hiring person, to do that. I don't need to have any IQ to use that tool. It is very, very easy. This is a huge competition to you, because I'm not going to put out a 30-day advert on some job board when I can stick my job in someone's feed, Dustin's feed. Dustin isn't even looking for a job, but my job keeps appearing in your feed. And then, if he happens to click it, he comes through to a gorgeous landing page. This is from Tenable Security. Tenable have had extreme success doing video jobs in Facebook feeds. And you click through, and that's actually a video at the top. It's just not moving because I didn't do a very good screenshot of it. And it's very tactile, and when I go down, there's videos underneath from the hiring manager and from other people in the jobs, and there's loads of information. It's really rich media, so I'm getting a real feel for it. The very bottom's all their Glassdoor reviews and everything that reassures me they're a good company. But what's also there is one of those damn Facebook pixels. Now, I'm not on the job hunt, so just bear with me, it's more on my shopping. But then, oh no, yeah, there we go. I go back into Facebook, and there it is. So obviously I've been to Scaramanga quite a few times and furnishing my flat, and it keeps coming up on my feed constantly. And then I keep going back into it constantly. So it's like, not only are they getting you the first time when Dustin doesn't know he's looking for a job and suddenly there's a great job in front of him, he's clicked in, then it keeps appearing everywhere. He goes, it's a bit creepy, but people will keep clicking in and eventually they might buy. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but my question to you is, what can you do to get this kind of loyalty with your customers? I think Tom this morning covered off quite a few of them. Actually, I wrote a note because I was scared I'd forget, and I have. So Tom was talking about cultivate communities. He was talking about the data that you have. Can you use that data to get that kind of loyalty? Polly and Sophie were both talking about help with the branding. You know, we're an unknown company. We need to be seen out there. Everyone's looking for our information. Can you share that? Do you really have to charge to share it as well? Does it actually cost you anything to pass it on? Not at all, other than loyalty from that customer. I've got partner banner. And then, of course, Ian mentioned, do you see what you are putting? Yeah, so help them. Ian was talking about when those jobs go out. Recruiters are crap at writing jobs. So can you advise them on how to write them better? Would that get the loyalty? So I don't have the answers. I'm just throwing ideas at you, and I'm hoping that helps. So I'm Katrina Collier. Thank you very much for your time and for staying awake, because I'm in that graveyard shift, aren't I? Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina.